may have noticed a common train of thought shared by many of those who we have talked to so far in this series. That is, Albania is really geographically blessed. Nowhere is this more true than the capital city, Tirana. As you learned back when we visited Kruja and brushed up on our Albanian history, Tirana is a pretty new city in the grand scheme of things, especially for Europe, being effectively established as the capital when the Congress of Lushnjo proclaimed it so on February 8, 1920. The location was strategically chosen due to its central positioning on the plain of Tirana, and the city densely covers the valley which has embraced the city. Furthermore, the shores of the Adriatic Sea are just a mere 30 kilometres away. Back when the city was developed, these factors were likely to have been of importance for political or economic reasons, perhaps even in regards to defence. Today, it still bears those responsibilities, with travel to neighbouring countries of the region likely requiring you to pass through the centrally located capital. However, what you are more likely to notice in the more modern day is a different kind of blessing. There seems to be an overwhelming consensus that one of the best things about living in Tirana is the ability to base yourself in the city and be able to explore the surrounding nature. Want to go to the beach? No problem. Climb a mountain? How about the one you can see from your bedroom window? Feel like doing some wine tasting? Travel to the surrounding villages and take your pick. No matter what it is that you're looking to do, it's nearby. Don't believe me? No problem. I'll take on the challenge of trying to prove it to you.
I'm here at this very busy 4-ish lane roundabout. On Google Maps, you'll find it as Karltopia Square, but don't bother trying to use that name with locals who know it only as Zoguizi, which translates to the Black Bird. It's from near here that the buses depart for destinations across Albania and abroad, and it's from here that we are going to start our challenge today. We are going to try and attempt what everybody says is possible: to reach the seaside, the top of a mountain, explore a winery, and go to one of the most Instagrammable lakes in the world, all within an hour's drive of Tirana. So let's find out, is it really possible to see all of these beautiful things just 1 hour's drive from Tirana? Is Tirana really that geographically blessed? Let's find out.
Yes, that's right. Let's put this train of thought to the test and conduct a social experiment when we try to visit 4 different locations from the point of Zoguizi, a notable landmark for the city and fairly major traffic hub. And the aim is to arrive and take an Instagram selfie before the timer hits 1 hour. To make the trip more enjoyable too, I've roped in a few friends to help me along the way.
For the first leg of our challenge today, I am heading to one of the most Instagrammable locations you could hope for, Bovila Reservoir. And joining me for this leg of the challenge is one of my favourite Albanian travel bloggers. I've been following her for a long time on Instagram and I love her aesthetic. Thank you so much for coming with me today, Angie. This is Angie Chaliku. Thank you so much. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
The hardest question ever, but still, I like hiking, adventures, exploring my country. And that's the only thing I can say. For the rest, I'm sure you're gonna get to know me.
We'll get to know her a little bit more as the day progresses and we're heading out to the lake. I love that you are really into nature and hiking, and that really comes through in your photographs. So Bovila is located about 20 kilometers from Tirana. Do you really think that we can get there in 1 hour and take that picture and do all of this like everybody says that we can?
Yes, but we better run.
Okay, we better get moving. So, all right, is everybody ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
And we're off! Bovila Lake is actually more accurately Bovila Reservoir, and in addition to being an Instagram-favoured spot, it also provides the majority of the drinking water used by Tirana's residents. Just like anywhere, when you decide to travel somewhere, there is a bit of planning that should be involved, especially if you're on a time crunch. For example, make sure you have a full tank of fuel before heading out.
So this is all part of the adventure, just having a road trip. We're like 16, 20 minutes in, something like that. Little bit of a pit stop to get some petrol along the way.
But I think we're gonna make it, so
I hope so.
Be optimistic.
Yes, optimism is always the way.
Also, determine the route that you will take and double check it gets you to your destination prior to departing.
So, second thing we've learned since we've started this challenge is make sure you know what direction to drive in, because we just went a whole distance in the wrong direction. So, luckily Angie actually knows where we're going.
Yeah, I've been once, as I told you before. I have hiked Gamti mountain and with my friends, and that was actually a very good day. But and the view of Bovila was like amazing, especially after you hike like 3 hours, and then coming back it was a total of 6 hour moving, so that was good.
Make sure you have good tunes to jam to along the way. Well, at least we had that part covered. It's also good to be aware if the only road that leads to your destination happens to be closed because it's being completely reconstructed. Although, with a noticeable lack of information on such topics, that's a little bit easier said than done in Albania.
So we just got stopped and told that this road is actually closed. So lesson number 3, make sure the roads are open that you want to travel on. Now thankfully our crew is pretty good at negotiating, and so they've allowed us to continue on, but we have to go really slowly. So at the moment the timer 51 minutes. We have 9 minutes to get there. I think we're going to struggle.
And I think it's very kind too, because it's actually showing us the safe road to go, because as you see there are a lot of things and they're working.
It looks like they're doing some mining or something, so we're not really meant to be going down here, but thankfully we've been given the green paddle, as it was, to continue on. So we will get to Bovila, it just won't be within that hour that we've hoped.
Hey, rules are made to be broken, right?
Okay, so we got to 54 minutes on the timer, and unfortunately they have closed the road on us. It turns out our negotiating skills were not as good as we had thought.
Yeah, I think for our safety, because they thought that maybe a rock can just go back from the mountain, so better.
Yeah. So unfortunately we have to say that we failed in the first leg of the challenge. As you can see, Angie was very much ready to go hiking. I'm not so concerned because this is my outfit for the day, so if I have to miss out on hiking, that's okay.
Despite our excitement and enthusiasm, our first leg of the challenge was an absolute failure. We didn't make it to Bovila at all, let alone within 1 hour. But at least I got to hang out with one of my favourite Albanian bloggers. And don't worry, we'll save the beauty of Bovila for a future episode, so you won't miss out. So Bovila threw us a few lemons, but as I recently started saying, when life gives you lemons, trade them for grapes and make some wine. Super relevant in this case, as, guess what? My next destination is to a lovely vineyard on the outskirts of the city.
So now it is time for the second part of our challenge today. And for this challenge, we are visiting a local winery. So anybody who knows me knows that I am a big fan of a culinary experience. And it's also no secret that I am very passionate about wine, and I drink a lot of it. In fact, in the last 5 years, I have probably drank as much wine as there is water in Bovila Lake. And so today, I am here to impart my wine wisdom on a fellow food-loving expat, Karen Ricks. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited, Alexandra.
Oh, me too. This is going to be a great day. So first of all, I wanted to ask, how long have you been in Tirana?
I have been here with my family now for about 9 months.
9 months? That's
Yes.
awesome. So have you had much of a chance to explore places just outside of Tirana?
We have spent most of that time primarily here in Tirana, but we've done a little bit of exploring too.
Okay, great. So hopefully we were able to show you something new and exciting today.
Yes.
Have you visited many wineries since you've been here in Albania?
Not at all, which is part of the reason I'm so excited to go with you today.
I think you're really going to enjoy yourself. So the idea is that we have to get there within 1 hour, and we need to take a selfie of us trying some wine and post it to Instagram.
All right, we can do that.
You can do it?
I know we can.
Excellent. All right, it's time for us to go. So let's count down from 3 and run to the car. Ready? Ready?
Right. 3, 2, 1, go!
Back on the road and having learned from some of the mistakes we've made in leg 1, I'm feeling confident that we will be able to succeed in the next component. As we drive along, Karen makes an observation about the city names in Albania and asks a question that I'm sure intrigues nearly every foreigner when they arrive here.
She kept saying, I thought it was Skolder. Yeah. And I said, I keep hearing Skolder, but I have seen it written before.
Yeah,
so.
So you would say, like, if you're saying, I'm going to Shkodra, you would say, I'm going to Shkodra. But if you're from Shkodra, you would say, Yanga Shkodra. So it just depends. It's like saying da Shkodra, Shkodra. So it's weird for us because we wouldn't use it like that.
The form doesn't change anything. But
same with people's names.
Yes.
You know? Like, why are you Marine and then sometimes you're Marini? I don't understand it.
Certainly in English, we don't have definitive and non-definitive forms of proper nouns. Nicknames, yes. Like my name is Alexandra and I come from a country where people shorten literally every word. So people call me Lexi. Here in Albania, locals find it odd to address me as Lexi, as this would be the masculine definitive, the feminine definitive being Lexa. As such, most people automatically revert to Lexa here, simply because that's what they're used to. All of a sudden, we look up and we're in the countryside already, and boy, is it beautiful.
goodness, it looks like we're in Italy. It really does. I have been doing so much. Right now, I was just recently communicating. I got a newsletter from the cooking school. They're working to coordinate some alumni activities and, just shout outs to different things that people are doing all over the world. And so I have been really reflecting on just what an impact that experience had in my life and in our family's travels. And so to be going up and down these bumpy back roads and these hills, I feel like I have been transported right back there.
That is so cool. And isn't it amazing that, like, we're only, 25 minutes outside of Tirana?
Is that all?
Yeah.
It feels like a different world.
Right? It's such a change in scenery, a change in landscapes. You can see that the air is cleaner, and this is just so close to where we live, you know?
This is so close, and yet it really does feel like a completely different world away.
And before you know it, the Eagle has landed. Or at least, we had.
All right, well, we're at 49 minutes and 55 seconds. Are you ready to press the stop button?
Yes, ready? Can I do it?
Do it, do it, do it. Oh, here. Yay!
Okay.
50 minutes, we made it!
Woo!
High
Right
five! Okay, fist bump! Yeah. So we made it here in just 50 minutes.
And we stopped for a drink too along the way.
We cheated and we stopped for coffee along the way. That's why it took us so long. But we're feeling super energized. We're gonna go in try some wine, and we are going to take a picture of it and put it on Instagram all in the next 10 minutes so we can make it all in under 1 hour.
All right.
How good are we?
Yeah.
Yes.
The adrenaline of the race starts to seep away to the delight of having reached our destination. So we sit down to try the full assortment whilst nibbling on some traditional Albanian accompaniments such as peppers, cheese, nuts and meats.
Unbelievable.
Pretty good, huh?
That was fun, but there's more work to be done.
Okay, so we made it within the hours.
Yes.
Leg 2 challenge completed.
All right.
Fist bump again.
Yeah.
Cheers. We did say, though, that we're going to get a selfie with the vineyards and our
That's
wine.
right, we did.
So let's do it.
All right.
Okay, look beautiful. Smile.
Okay, so the first leg of the challenge was a bust, but the second was so successful that it more than made up for the morning's misgivings. What will the third leg of our challenge have in store for us?
We're back here at Zoguizi. It is a brand new day. We're going to see if we can get up to Mount Daiti in less than 1 hour from this very spot at Zoguizi. So, to help me with this, I have one of my favorite members of the Albanian diaspora. Welcome, Lena. Lena? Lena? Where the F is? Hey, Lena! Hey! What's up? Here she is. So, Lena, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your adventures so far in Tirana.
In Tirana, so many. I mean, I've been going to different bars and cafes and, you know, exploring the different monuments, taking pictures around the area, meeting people from Instagram, and all that type of stuff. It's amazing.
Awesome. And have you had a chance to go up to Mount Daiti already?
Actually, no, so I'm so glad that we're doing this.
How awesome is that? So Lena has a little bit of history with Albania, which we'll get into as we speak up on top of the mountain. But for now, we've got a race to run. So I think we better get started. All right, let's get the clock ready. We have 1 hour to get to the top of Mount Daiti. Do you think we can do it?
I think so.
All right, let's see if we can. I'm feeling confident for this one.
Me too.
Okay, so I'm getting the clock ready. Okay, you can do the honors. Press the start button for me just here. Time's on, guys, let's go!
This girl is awesome, super talented, and a positive beacon of light in the world. She also happens to be of Albanian origin and is now making a real name for herself by promoting the region and beyond. Her social media will make you want to book a plane ticket now, right now, this very second, I swear. I'm super excited to be able to show her a part of Tirana she hasn't been before.
So as you can see, we made it here to the top of Mount Daiti. And what do you think of the view?
It's incredible.
Tirana looks pretty nice from up here.
Yeah.
Yeah? Does it justice?
Better than I imagined.
We should actually stop the clock.
Where are we at?
So we are at 48 minutes and 12 seconds.
Right on the money.
So we definitely made it within the hour. I think that deserves a high five. And you can do the honors and hit the stop button for me. We officially finished at 48 minutes and 23 seconds. So it is definitely possible to reach the top of a mountain within 1 hour. It's pretty cool, huh?
So cool.
The mountain of Daiti is a prominent feature of the skyline in Tirana, able to be seen from almost anywhere in the city. You can choose to head up to the top by hiking, driving, or even taking the cable car, built back in 2005 in collaboration with an Austrian company. The mountain reaches an elevation of 1,613 meters above sea level, and in addition, offers further incredible views of the city it towers over. With the most incredible view of Tirana in the background, I'm super keen to know more about Lena's story.
So since we're here, you are a member of the Albanian diaspora. So I believe you're actually born outside of Albania, right?
Yeah, I was born in Michigan, and I grew up in a very traditional Albanian household, and moved to New York around 20 years old, which was like against the cultural norm, because with some Albanians at least, moving out before marriage is like a big deal.
Interesting little side note about this. Traditionally, the bride in an Albanian wedding will cry throughout the day because whilst she's getting married, it also represents the day that she will leave her father's house for the first time and move in with her new husband's family.
And so what made you return to Albania?
How much time do you have? It's really so much. I just remember growing up, learning all the different traditions and just being so amazed by it and being patriotic and just not even knowing what it was like, what it even is like in real Albania, in the actual country, you know? I actually visited a couple years ago, and that's where I met this is where I met my boyfriend. And he showed me some beautiful spots like Theth, and the hospitality here is unbeatable. It really is. We stayed in a guest house in Theth, and we traveled all over, and the nature was amazing. And yeah, I mean, the people, really. Like, the main thing, I think, the people. I want to show America what Albania really is like.
Another great point she raises here, Albania truly is a land of contrasts.
So what was some of the cultural shocks that you got when you returned back to Albania? What surprised you?
I think just seeing some of the villages that were so vacant, and you know, the living conditions in some of the villages that we've come across. One that we went to recently, there was only 3 families that lived there, and it's such a, not big village, but it was big enough, you know, for only 3 families to live there for
I don't know how many years. I believe she's the lady that we met there said almost 10 or 20 years,
Wow.
something like that.
As we can see, Tirana is a very dense, well-populated city, and then you go out into the villages and you have, exactly like you mentioned, a small village with only its own family members inside. Any maybe places that you recommend first-time travelers to visit?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, since my first place was Theth, I have to recommend Theth. Korcha is beautiful. It's such a cute, clean city. If you want to see like the differences of that Albania has to offer, like from the beach to the mountains to the snow to the, heat, like you got it. You have it all. You
Which
have it all.
is kind of what we've been exploring today in this episode.
Yeah, exactly. You go from city to mountain. You see cows 20 minutes away from Tirana, the city. It's cool. It's really cool.
There's really something for everybody here.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love Albania. Just when you think you've explored the country, someone comes along and tells you about all these new places you've never heard of before.
What inspired you to start your photo blog?
Ever since I was a kid, I just explored constantly, and also, I hate to say it, but I love social media. So I was on social media constantly. I loved taking pictures, I loved exploring, and I loved showing people what it was like. So I kind of did it as a hobby, and then people just kept telling me like, oh, you should do this for real, you should start a blog and da-da-da.
Here's another story of someone who found a passion and made a job out of it. Sensing a bit of a theme here each week yet? And she is really, really good at it. Seriously, go check out her Instagram. There is a reason people love her content so much.
And we're very happy to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Bet you'd nearly forgotten we were even doing that challenge, huh? Well, we haven't. We take a moment, as the cast and crew, to celebrate a little bit just how well we have done so far in our challenges. Lena and I take a few selfies, and then we head back to Tirana, though we also stop to explore the surrounding nature now that we're no longer on such a time crunch. But don't lose sight of the goal, because the last leg of the challenge is still to come. And this time, we're going to the beach.
So here I am back at Zogwizzi for the next leg of our race. This time I'm going to the beach and we're heading to Tirana. And of course, the idea is that we have to get there in less than 1 hour. But since it is the beach and I'm a beach lover, I have brought some of my girlfriends here so that we can enjoy the weekend together.
Hi.
This is Jaku from Albania and Anna from Italy.
Buongiorno.
And we're going to head to one of the resorts at the Tirana beach and enjoy a bit of a girls' weekend.
Yes.
Why not? So, what do you guys think? The idea is that we need to get there within an hour. Do you think we can make it?
Yeah, of course, yes.
It is a Saturday, it's a weekend in summer.
Yeah, but people are in the south of Albania, so I think we can make it in 1 hour. I don't have a watch, but
that's okay.
I'm
I
sure.
have my trusty timer here. So what do you think? Are we ready to just get going? I'm ready to hit the beach.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll start the timer. It's got 1 hour on there. Who wants to do the honors of pressing start?
okay.
You're closer. All right, we're counting down. Let's go.
For this part of the challenge, we chose the location of Tirana, which is a super popular beachside spot, specifically because of its close proximity to Tirana. With many people working 6-day weeks, it can be difficult to head to the beach for the weekend. As such, the Sunday parties at the bars along the beach here really go off. Hopefully, we get there quickly so we can make the most of the sunshiny day at the beach.
All right, so we're on the road. 1 hour. We've got 1 hour. Well, we've got 59 minutes and 54 seconds now. All right, so we've just turned down the road that leads to Tirana. So we're off the main highway and we're onto that slightly sketchy kind of road that we need to travel to get there. Having a look, we have 37 minutes and 34 seconds. And I just brought up Google Maps to see how far away we are. And it suggests that we need 31 minutes to drive there. How many kilometers? It's here, I think. 31 minutes. We know how to use phones, just bear with us. Maybe. I think 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers, it says 31 minutes. It doesn't know Tirana traffic. Okay, so as always, when we're doing a leg of these races, we made a slight mistake in our planning and we've ended up at the wrong section of the Lura Resort. So there's Lura 1, Lura 2, Lura 3. We've gone to Lura 1 and now we have to turn back and go to Lura 2. So we've still got 11 and a half minutes.
I think we're gonna make it.
I mean, it's pretty close. We just need to go here. Just a slight detour. What would it be? It wouldn't be an adventure if we didn't have something go slightly wrong, right? It's all part of the journey. Yeah. Right, yes. Right, yes. Yes, correct, sir.
It's an easy mistake to make considering just how huge this resort is. It's basically like 3 little villages all on their own, with each section of the complex complete with its own supermarket. I imagine very few people picture this when they think of Albania.
Here we are. The beach is right there. We can walk casually because we've got time. 7.5 minutes to be exact.
We made it.
Yes, Jaku was right. Always trust the local.
Yes, always trust the locals. A fitova diçka. We win something.
We win the chance to enjoy this resort and the beach. I'm going to take my shoes
It's a
off.
fair price.
It's a fair competition. All right, so I think we have a what do you call that in English? Umbrella over here. We'll hit stop once we have our stuff down, yeah? That's when we're officially at the beach, when our towels are on the sunbeds.
This challenge has incited a lot of adrenaline in previous legs, but to be here is just so relaxing. It's hard for us to be anything but completely calm and chill.
No, I think Jaku should press stop since you pressed start. Don't hog all the attention. Ready, Jaku?
Yes. What I have to do?
Press stop.
Okay, stop. Where is stop? Okay.
The button that says stop.
The stop button, pause just.
Oh, pause.
Okay.
Sorry, my
Okay,
bad.
stop it.
It's 6 minutes and 7 seconds, everybody. We did it. Woo! All right.
Even our celebrating is pretty low-key, but only until we get into the water. Now that we have our Instagram pic to prove we're really here, it's time to begin really enjoying ourselves. We have a lot planned for this weekend, but of course the first stop is the beach bar. Now, I've always said that the way to determine the difference between a bartender and a mixologist is to ask them to make a drink that matches your personality, whether or not they've ever seen you before.
Përshëndetje, si kalove? Ne donim porosistim 3 koktejl, po do donim shumë që koktejlet i dhe ojet ti, shpikje ti, bazuar në personalitetet tona, se si mund na perceptosh ti tani në këto momente me kaq pak mundësi sa ke.
Do ta bëj shumë të mira.
Okej, mirë, faleminderit.
So Anna is given a cocktail made with strawberries and orange, so I guess that means she's sweet with a hint of sour? The drink came out a dark orange or light red, so I think that means she's a warm person. Meanwhile, Jacques was not served in a glass, but a pineapple. That's perfect for her personality. She's edgy, spiky, a little bit fierce. Not one to follow the norms. Seeing lots of different types of fruit inside the carved-out pineapple she's drinking from, I think about how she is so knowledgeable on such a vast range of things. Then there's my cocktail. It's blue and full of ice. Is this bartender trying to insinuate that I seem icy and cold? Or am I just misreading this?
They look good.
The ananas, it's mine.
Oh, because you're the spiky one of the group. Okay. I get the strawberries.
You get them.
Ooh, I'm ice cold.
I'm fruity.
You're the spiky pineapple one.
Po si mendove këto mo? Wow, shumë bukur.
U bë fëmijë.
Shumë faleminderit.
Sa skeqar.
Duar gocat.
Duar Aleksandra.
Whilst the cocktails were excellent and the beach bar lovely, nothing beats sitting right on the shore. We are here to catch some sun after all, so we head back to our umbrellas and lounges to await some more drinks. Getting pretty hungry now, we decide to head for lunch. For our first meal at the Lura complex, we dine at what is referred to as their casual restaurant, which offers a self-serve buffet section as well as an a la carte restaurant, the former being particularly popular for breakfasts. As we sit and chat about work, and I tell the girls some funny stories from my English teaching adventures, the food we are presented with seems anything but casual.
After this, we have the accommodation and then the sports.
Yeah. What color is the robot? And this is the robot. Oh. Okay.
And then here,
And so I go through all the colors and he's like, it's blue, and then it was it's green, and then it was it's yellow, and I'm like, oh my God, the only color that you And I'm like circling red, robot, red. Anyway, 4.5 minutes of him just yelling, I like blue, I like blue. And at one point I'm like, I get that you like blue. I'm not asking what color you like, I'm asking what color is the lemon.
Wow.
This is beautiful. I feel like I need to. Yeah. Is it like dry ice or something? I want to take a picture, but you can't. Oh, there we go. Fancy. This looks good.
Next, we check into our apartment to freshen up a bit before we head to the sporting fields to work off all the calories we just consumed at lunch. Heading back to our apartment for the evening, we decide it's time to glamour up. It's a Saturday night, after all, and we are ladies of Albania, albeit not all of us Albanian, in a fancy resort, so let's get our glitz on and head to the bar. We've been invited to the VIP floor, and as they prepare some cocktails for us, we take some time to enjoy the sunset and people watch the pool below us.
Ooh. Wow. They're beautiful. I love the flowers.
These are also flowers.
Yes.
And it is in the presentation it says.
We're served our cocktails by the private pool as we await dinner for the evening. Once the food arrives, our mouths are absolutely watering. So much delicious seafood, meats and pastas. We really are being spoiled. I'm not usually a resort-style person, but I could certainly get used to this. Having devoured plenty of deliciousness, we decide to mingle with the rest of the patrons on the lower floor of the bar. A trend which is certainly on the rise in the country is Latin dancing, and we are delighted by an impressive troupe who have attended this evening's festivities. They looked so good that I thought even I could give it a try, but I think I should leave that to the professionals in future. They make it look a little easier than it is. The next day, we decide to split up and go on different adventures. Anna has returned home to attend to her pet dog, adopted from the street, of course. Jaku, being the gym junkie that she is, wants to do something more adventurous, so she heads off to meet the resort's pet horses. Meanwhile, I'm feeling a little bit more like lazy. So I take to reading by the pool, soaking up the sun's rays. Once we reconvene, we go for a bit of a dip in the pool. And before we know it, more incredible cocktails are being served to us poolside. This really is the luxury life, isn't it? Before heading off, we take a moment to peruse some of the incredible resorts Globus Travel works in partnership with. I think this experience may have converted me from a hostel-style traveller to a resort seeker.
I have to say, like, resort travel isn't really my normal style of traveling around, but after being here for this weekend, I actually don't mind it that much. It's pretty relaxing having everything all organised for you. I don't know, Globus Tours have given us this brochure of different like hotels and stuff. They look really, really nice. I think we should plan another girls' weekend, like in Turkey or something with them. What do you think?
Why not?
Have a look. They have like
I've
all
never
of
been
these.
in Turkey actually.
Really?
Never.
These resorts look amazing. Look at this water park.
Me also, I'm not a type of resort girl, but yes, actually this weekend was amazing.
Yeah.
Especially the food.
This is growing on me. This is growing on me. Like, I could totally see myself just relaxing for a day by the pool in one of these gazebos.
Also having fun here.
Yes.
Or having breakfast in here.
The food looks good in these pictures. And I like how it's like all inclusive. Like once you've paid for it, you don't have to worry about anything anymore. It's just done.
It's really pretty incredible what you can do within an hour from Tirana. Whilst we might not have been able to get to the lake, you certainly can, given the artificial lake is a feature point of the city. And we did manage to make it to a winery, a mountain, a beach, an hour's drive from the capital city of Albania, Tirana. Back home in Melbourne, if I drive for an hour in any direction, I would just be in more of Melbourne. Whilst it might be only about 5 minutes drive from my parents' house to a reasonable beach, it'd take me 2.5 hours to reach a mountain. It's the ease and ability in which one can go exploring out of the city, giving that balance between having everything you need at your disposal and the ability to take a break, escape and relax, that appeals so greatly to so many of us foreigners who live here, as well as many of the locals. Despite what grievances one might have with life here, you can't deny that there are some real positive aspects to living here. And geographical positioning certainly seems to be one of them. I'm sure, in relation to this opinion, I'm not so much of an alien.